Hello and welcome to the show. Now, we're both passionate about property. It's something that fascinates and excites us, from the thrill of the auction to the satisfaction of the transformation.
Absolutely. It can be a competitive business, though, and it can be tricky to find those bargains. Profit.
Yes, the drama. You think the bid's finished, and then somebody steps in at the last minute and steals the lot. So how did the bidding go on today's auction properties? In the West Midlands, things are looking up for Tommy.
I bet you know where I'm going.
To the West Midlands and the town of Wednesbury, home to the Garman sisters, who are part of the famous 20th century Bloomsbury set of intellects, philosophers, artists and writers, including John Maynard Keynes, E.M. Forster and Virginia Woolf. Let's hope Tommy's not afraid of the property we're here to see.
I'm in a quiet residential street in the town of Wednesbury, which is in between Birmingham and Wolverhampton. And the property I'm here to see is a two-bedroom, semi-detached house with a guide price of £30,000. £30,000 seems very cheap to me. I reckon it'll go for a bit more. Why don't we go inside and take a look and see what you're going to get for your money? Well, someone's all ready to go at making major changes to this property. But it does beg the question, why is it unfinished? So now you'll have to get in touch with the local authority building inspector to make sure that all the alterations that have been carried out in this house have been checked, passed and approved by the local authority, or you may not be able to sell this on the open market. See, there's a beam gone in here, so there's an RSJ. You have to check the bearing at either end of that. There's another RSJ been installed here to create this open space, so this could be extended out into the garden. Although it's pretty pointless because it's too small really. It should be bigger than that or have a proper purpose. Yeah, this is all a bit bitty, so you're gonna have to investigate all the work that's been done here, the electrics, the plumbing, all the structural changes to make sure they've been conducted in the right manner. And why has this been installed? I mean, if it were me, I would take this out and that wall, that stud wall out, and have this as an open plan kitchen diner. And then you're in contact with the people working in the kitchen. So it just binds the space better together. And this could be a reception room, kitchen diner. That'd work really nice. And you've still got the doors to get you out into the garden. Yeah, let's have a look upstairs. Well, spacious landing. This is the master bedroom, and it's got new fitted wardrobes. Whether they've been historically fitted or whether they've been recent, someone's made a start, I don't know, but they look quite good. Now we go through here into this room. Oh, this is a great size room as well. So you've got two large bedrooms. And then we're into the bathroom. Again, a large space. You could have a bath, a separate shower, hand basin and toilet. This all looks like it's fairly recently fitted, so this is all salvageable. And obviously someone's putting a new type of ceiling up, plastic, so less painting to do. That's the good thing about that. I bet you know where I'm going. Well, there's various holes in the felt, so the roof will need an overhaul. And there's been some changes to some of the timber strutting, which supports the roof. So that has to be checked out to make sure the strength of the roof hasn't been compromised. Just storage.
The attic might only be good for extra storage at the moment, but that's not to say that you couldn't look into the possibility of creating a loft extension. With a lot of jobs already started here, what state will the garden be in?
That's the first thing to go. That's a sycamore. It's just a weed, really, so that needs to come out. You don't want that to get established. Extension's a bit small. If it were me, I'd come right the way across. But whether you can justify the cost on a two-bedroom house, that's another matter. There's got a garage down there, which is a precast concrete garage. Would I have that? No, it looks quite ugly, so I'd get rid of that, because most people use garages for storage, not for cars, because the garage, the space, is worth more than the car. Unless, of course, you've got a classic car, and then that's a different matter altogether. Now, it's a bit unusual, because it's about 20-odd foot across the width there outside the house. But as you come up to the end of the garden, it narrows down to about 6 foot. And then what you have to do is trick the eye into not looking that far down, because the further down you look, the smaller the garden seems.
Well, let's look back at the house, which does have a lot going for it. On the inside, we have what looks like the makings of a brand new property. But outside, you can see that the roof is definitely in need of repair. This is something any potential buyer should look to fix quickly. What use is a brand new renovation if you can't keep the elements out? What will a property expert make of this lot? We invited along one from the auction house that sold it to get their thoughts.
If I was the one to buy it, I think first thing with it would be start with the roof, go through it all, modernise it out as it is. I don't think extending the property is going to do anybody any favours, and it's the cheapest and easiest way of doing it is to keep it as it is.
After renovations, what does he think the property will be worth on both the sales and rental markets?
If the property's to be sold once it's done up, then I feel it would be in the region of £175,000. However, if they decide to keep the property and rent it out, I feel they would achieve in the region of £650 to £700 per calendar month.
Well, I got me cuppa. And on first impressions, this property looks like it's 3/4 done. But the first thing, a word of caution that you must do is to contact the local building control and make sure that there's been a building notice put in for the work and that all the structural work has been supervised and checked by the local authority. Because if you don't, there'll be a problem when it comes to sell it. So let's say you fancied being the detective and unpicking this puzzle when it went under the hammer.
This lot was part of a remote auction with bids taking place online.
1, 2, 3, and gone.
And the successful bidder was Tom, along with brother-in-law Charles. They paid 129 grand for this property, a whopping £100,000 over the guide price. Tom's an automotive engineer and part-time property developer, and he met Tommy to tell them the plan of action.
Tom, congratulations on the purchase of this property.
Thank you very much.
It's a pretty little house from the street, really nice. And when you come in, your first impressions are, it's 3/4 done.
You would say so, but when you look a bit deeper, it doesn't look like, because there's plenty to do in this house. Unfortunately, no paperwork's been done.
So you need to get them
I'm working
involved.
with the architects and the big building regulators to get everything sorted as it should be.
Well, at least you're doing it the right way.
Well, hopefully, because it's my first project like that. So I'm still learning, but hopefully it will work out.
So this is your first project?
It's the first project of that kind. So I've got a few properties, but so far the projects were like just a small redecorating,
right.
rather than a bigger building project involving architects and the building regulators and planning.
Oh, right. So it's exciting. You're stepping up.
Yes,
Your game.
I'm trying to, yes.
OK, and what do you want to do with the property? Is it for you? Is it to sell or is it to rent?
I purchased that property together with my brother-in-law, so we're planning to refurb it completely, make more rooms and rent it out.
Are you and your brother-in-law going to do the work?
The work's going to be done by my dad, who's a part-time builder as well, so he likes DIY, so he helps us with the other projects. So it's going to be myself and my brother-in-law.
OK,
so,
and what do you plan to do? How do you plan to change it?
We're going to build a new garage. However, there won't be a garage, so it's going to be another room and a utility room and a bathroom. And refurb the whole, everything inside. So new walls, new kitchen, brand new bathroom, so everything from top to the bottom. Upstairs there are 2 bedrooms, so we're planning to convert that into 3 bedrooms. And also we've got a bit of a work on the roof because the roof is leaking. So
In the master bedroom, I noticed that there's a fitted bedroom already in there. Did you put that in, or was that you inherit that?
we inherited that, so it won't be a part of that. So
It's all coming out?
Yeah, it will.
And the guide price was £30,000. Is that what you paid for it?
Oh no, unfortunately not. I paid £129,000 at the auction.
Oh, so that was 4 times the guide price.
Yes, it was.
Was you happy with what you paid for the property?
Yes, I'm fairly happy with the price. Of course, there are additional costs on top of it, but once fully refurbed, once everything's done what we're planning to do, hopefully we're gonna get a good return on it.
What about the time factor to do the work? How long do you think it's going to take you to complete what you want to do?
The plan is to complete all the work within 3 months.
And what do you propose is going to be the size of your budget for doing all the work?
We're planning at the moment £26,000. So that's going to involve, that's going to be cost of the materials plus the labour.
Oh, well, I'm sure it's going to be fantastic, and I look forward to seeing what you're going to do with this.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, well done. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well, Tom and his family seem to make a great team. I just hope that when local building control checks out the work that's already been done, that it's not that, it turns out to be that. You can find out which one it is later in the show.
Back now to the West Midlands and the market town of Wednesbury, where Tommy saw a 2-bed semi-detached property with a guide price of £30,000 that posed a few questions.
Well, someone's all ready to go at making major changes to this property, but it does beg the question, why is it unfinished?
The work done previously had no paperwork in place, so everything needed to be checked to make sure it was safe and compliant with building regulations. The layout downstairs also didn't feel quite right.
Why has this been installed? I mean, if it were me, I would take this out and that wall, that stud wall out, and have this as an open plan kitchen diner. So it just binds the space better together, and this could be a reception room.
Upstairs, there were 2 spacious bedrooms and a good-sized bathroom, so on the face of it, this was a solid lot.
Today I've got nothing to lose.
With a purchase price of £129,000, it was bought by Tom, a part-time property developer alongside his brother-in-law, Charles. They had worked on properties together, but this was going to be their biggest challenge yet.
So far, the projects were like just a small redecorating, rather than a bigger building project with involving architects and the building regulators and planning. I'm still learning, but hopefully it will work out.
Tom and Charles planned to replace the old garage with an extension and intended to reconfigure the layout upstairs to add a 3rd bedroom. It was going to be a complete refurb from top to bottom. Charles owns his own furniture shop, so he took the lead in styling this project, including choosing the kitchen.
Is the high standard with the integrated appliances, and also the worktop is the marble, but it's the grey color, so everything is completely neutral, so everybody should like this color.
The open-plan kitchen and living space leads out into the rear garden, which has been revamped too.
We put in new paving bricks, so creating a bit of a patio as well, and the rest of it we just put a brand new grass, so it's nice and green now.
Inside, Tom and Charles have also changed the layout upstairs by moving the old staircase.
So that gave us additional space to convert the one big room into 2 smaller ones. It worked quite well, so we managed to create 3 rooms, and the bathroom actually stayed exactly the same size, which is good.
So Tom and Charles have maximised the existing space as well as adding more to create a 4-bed property with a bathroom and a shower room. But did the work that had been started the year before they bought the house become a help or a hindrance?
So we made the decision actually to completely demolish everything what was done previously, and it was a bit more cost beneficial for us actually to start from scratch really. Initially, we were planning to get some tradesmen to help us with the work. We were struggling to find right people for the right price, so most of the work we've done ourselves.
And I would like to add that another person who was really helpful is our dad. He spent probably definitely more time here that we are together.
So Tom's dad, Myro, was on hand not only to help, but guide them through their first big renovation. The timescale for this project slipped as they hadn't planned on doing so much of the work themselves, as they all have full-time jobs. So the renovation was done in the evenings and over weekends. So without the cost of a builder, have they been able to stick to the original budget of £26,000?
We've spent around £36,000. The reason for that is mainly for the cost of the building materials, which went up quite significantly.
And another thing is that during the renovation, we decided to use some material quite expensive. So, for example, in kitchen, we got a natural stone worktop. So this is the reason why we spent a little bit more.
Tom and Charles are now planning to sell the property, and we invited along the expert who sold this lot and viewed it last time to get his thoughts and valuations now the work's complete.
I think, wow, what a transformation. I mean, they've really gone to town with it, and they've turned it from a 2-bedroomed semi-detached house into a 4-bedroom semi-detached house. I think the whole idea of it, the way they've done it, fits very well.
Originally, Tom and Charles had planned to rent out when the work was complete, so if they had stuck to this path, what could they have achieved?
I think given the fact it's got 4 bedrooms, the rental should be in the region of about £1,100 to £1,200 per calendar month.
I think that's a really good result, yeah, for that property. However, we're actually not planning to rent it, we're planning to sell it anyway, but that's a really good result, I think.
So they could achieve an annual pre-tax income of over £14,000. But Tom and Charles are keen to sell and have invested a total of £165,000. So what could its resale value now be?
I feel it would achieve in the region of £245,000 to £250,000.
In terms of a resale value, we had a local estate agent recently, and that was valued around the £290,000. And that's what we're planning to put on the market for.
If they were to achieve their top figure, that would be a very nice pre-tax profit of £125,000. So it's been a very successful project. And what's next for Tom and Charles?
I've got plenty of experience, so I think that we're ready to buy them another property.
We work quite well as a team, so we really enjoyed, being here, working together, planning. So yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Well, that's all for today's show. You know what, we really do see it all, don't we? From terraces to townhouses.
Bungalows to barns, and there are plenty more to come. So join us next time here on Homes Under the Hammer.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.